This is the Grow Moringa Podcast, show number 1.
Basically, what I realize is all of our systems, food, energy, and water, are in the hands of centralized systems. People who decide not for your best interest, but for their best interest, what to do with those systems, right? So that was the impetus of creating Sovereign Quest, which is to help people to take control of their food, water, and energy. And the first one was food, and that's kind of what led me to Moringa. When we first met, it was like 5-6 years ago.
Greetings and welcome to the Grow Moringa Podcast. I had a really great time just now speaking with my best friend and co-founder in the Grow Moringa Collective, Jason Rashidnia. What a beautiful soul and mission that this man has to help others reach their goals. He's created many websites. He's also been integral role in forming several online companies and is serving a huge part in growing the Grow Moringa Collective marketing, advertising, and growth strategy. So we're here with him today and wanting to introduce you to Jason Rashidnia, our co-founder in the Grow Moringa Collective, to speak about his Moringa journey and the things that he's gone through over the last 5 years in the Moringa tree industry with me, and how we met, going through some of the roller coaster pitfalls of entrepreneurship, business, and his story. We're just going to talk about his story and how he found Moringa, how he's using Moringa, his journey in the Moringa tree industry, his aha moment. What was the moment that he realized that this is what he wanted to do? With us in the Grow Moringa Collective and in this business strategy, a lot of his ideas are seen and permeate through the collective. We do a lot of things behind the scenes, and I'm really happy to bring him out into the forefront with the Grow Moringa Collective podcast here with Jason Rashidnia. He's a real one. He is a visionary. He is seeking justice and truth and has massive dreams and goals, which I really love about him, and he's really doing things to stay focused and focus on the real big picture. We talk something about like permaculture capitalism, which we'd like to educate others about, and enjoy. You're listening to the Grow Moringa Podcast, introducing you to a collective of Moringa growers who are simplifying regenerative agriculture for the future of farming. If you'd like to learn more about the Moringa tree industry without beating around the bush, you're in the right place. Stay tuned and be sure to join us in the members area for all the Moringa answers. Sign up at growmoringa.com, your home for growing Moringa online.
What's up, man?
What's up, man?
How are things going?
It's good. I'm doing great. Right now, we are introducing this worldwide collective now. Our WhatsApp is blowing up with Moringa farmers in India and Africa as we begin to open up a Grow Moringa India department and a Grow Moringa Africa, because we want to be able to connect the farmers not only in those regions, but also be able to get their Moringa accessible to the most highest consumed market in the world is in America, is in the USA.
Right.
So a lot of them are having trouble getting it here because of the rules, the requirements, FDA, USDA certifications, also heavy metal testings. So today's quick tip is for anybody that's in another country that wants to work with us. I mean, we're blowing up right now with how can we partner with you? How can we partner with you? Join the Grow Moringa Collective. We have members now in Africa and almost every single continent of the world: Australia, India, Europe. We have members in Spain and are coming in, between the UAE and several other countries that are able to grow Moringa, but also being able to do business. Like in London, we have members in London that are importing Moringa to London from regions closest to them. That way they can sell and trade high quality Moringa, and then also connecting with us, because sometimes what if one of our members is traveling to other parts of the world? They still will probably need to get Moringa. They can go right to that Moringa map. The biggest the biggest tool and the most beneficial tool that we have right now is anybody can find one of our members directly on the map and buy directly from them. Actually, a story yesterday, someone called us and said, hey, I'm all the way in St. Pete and I have to drive all the way an hour to you, over an hour to get to you. Shauna, our helper, was actually on the phone saying, actually, you can go to the Moringa Map and find somebody in St. Pete that has fresh Moringa local to you. Yeah. Sure enough, that person called one of our members, went over, was able to pick up Moringa trees, was able to get fresh Moringa tea. So like they were able to kick it and have fun. And he gave him a tour. Our member gave him a tour of his Moringa. And you know what I'm saying? Like
that's how it
was so excited for that transition to happen. And that's what we're here for. We're really living this, connecting the dots, acting as community activists and putting Moringa into the face.
Yeah, I mean, that's the goal. We have to build community leaders in every city. So we're the community leaders leader. Right. I love it. That's exactly what I wanted to see. That was the impetus of why we built Grow Moringa, is connecting people. So beautiful, dude. Like I'm excited. I love how everything is falling into place exactly how it should. We've
been talking about for the last 5 years. It's finally coming to fruit.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm glad people are all up in WhatsApp. I have to get there and connect that into our systems, actually, because now I don't know if you realize, like Zuck is Zuckerberg has upgraded his WhatsApp platform for business.
Yeah.
So there's a whole thing.
We have the WhatsApp business app right here. And our number right now is full of Moringa farmers in every single continent. It's unbelievable. They're asking us how we can connect. So we're connecting with Moringa farmers directly in other countries. You can hit us up at 813-567-3100. That way we can talk.
I love it. Cool, dude. So what are we talking about today? What else are we talking about?
Well, mostly you. Like I want people to know you more. You're amazing. You're amazing truth seeker, freedom fighter, sovereignty quest. Just everything about you is something that I truly believe is good for the world. And you are an amazing human being. And I'm really glad to partner with you in this collective.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm honored to work with you in growing this, because I couldn't do this alone. I mean, none of us can do this alone. So we haven't done that in a minute.
We have a podcast with us, our number one podcast, first one.
Very first one.
Like 2 years ago, like 2.5 years ago, like January 2020, you came by here to the farm. I had just moved in.
Yeah.
We were talking about Bitcoin, and we were talking about how we wanted to take the Numa business to a Moringa business only. Everything that we were talking about then has now fruited into a focused Grow Moringa collective, worldwide collective. But what is your love and like attraction to Moringa? Like, what's your story to Moringa?
Yeah, sure. I was always looking to find, I was always researching and reading about economic systems and how the current world works and why is it the way it is. And eventually I came to a conclusion through my own meditation, truth seeking. The best word is just truth seeking. I don't know how else to say it, right? And ultimately I realized we can restructure, basically what I realized is all of our systems, food, energy, and water, are in the hands of centralized systems, people who decide not for your best interest, but for their best interest, what to do with those systems, right? So that was the impetus of creating Sovereign Quest, which is to help people to take control of their food, water, and energy. And the first one was food, and that's kind of what led me to Moringa. When we first met, it was like 5-6 years ago. I don't even remember anymore.
It was Halloween of 16.
Halloween of 16, man, sheesh, that was.
But you were already on the energy train. You were already doing one of those pillars that you were talking about, because you came to my booth at the farmers market that evening. It was a Halloween evening event. You were with some of my peers from USF.
Yeah.
And that's how we kind of got into the same circle, was through
Shout out to Alyssa for the connection.
Casey, and a few other, Tanner, a few other people that we worked
I love
with.
Tanner. I love Tanner. Yeah, so that was the impetus, because I was always like, all right, I want to help people take control of those major aspects of their life. So, Moringa came into the awareness, and then from there we built a relationship. We didn't really do anything. We were just kind of like exchanging ideas, trying to help you grow, because I know, like, as a marketer myself, the skill set of digital marketing is not cheap for most startups, so I was like, here, do all these things first till you start getting money, and then we can talk about something, So now 5 years down the line, now we're partners. So, we did shift the name a bit, because you were doing nursery, you were trying to be like jack of all trades. But I, through my own learning, I realized, like, we have to be the dominant player in one sector, one niche, in order for the abundance to overflow for the rest of it, right? So that's why we shifted from Numa Nursery to Grow Moringa, and as you see, like, it's just growing. Now you're the moranguero, the moringa papi, like, you're the number one moringa bro,
Wow.
So
One
it's
year.
work. What a year, right? And it's just beginning. So, one of my digital mentors, or my business daddy, business daddy, Alex Hormozy, I shared him with you. He teaches a lot of these things. So that's why I just applied the principle of one product, one offer, one channel, one funnel, all the way to success, right? And so that's where we're at. And we're still growing. So that's what I'm excited about. We still got to keep going. But more about what I'm doing. Essentially, at the core of what I do is I help creators shine their light and build their community. And I build the technology and the systems behind them to amplify their art, to amplify their creation, right?
You really do.
Because ultimately, like, because I'm a Bitcoiner, I've been in Bitcoin since 2010, when it was not, like, nobody even knew about it. I was mining Bitcoin back then, and that was my first business of mining Bitcoin. I used to have a craft beer and wine bar called Bit Bar. It was the first bar in Florida to accept Bitcoin.
Wow.
And
what year was that?
2010 and 11.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you showed it to me in downtown Tampa. You're like, that's where my Bit Bar was. And I'm like, you took Bitcoin in 2011?
Yeah, we did.
Very
But
nice.
people were like, what the hell are you doing, bro? Like, that's
mining. You're mining crypto, and like,
yeah.
the first year it came out.
It was retardedly early. I should have kept mining, honestly. Like, I got so distracted. But anyways, I was like one of the first people in my entire family, my network, to talk about Bitcoin. Like, I mined hundreds of Bitcoin back then, and I lost it all in a boating accident, as they say. But anyways, now that we hit this new impetus, they call it a Cambrian explosion of blockchains being applied to business models and DAOs and all these things. I'm like, okay, so now it's time for me to really, I'm the coin geek, right? I was the original coin geek. That's kind of in my like title since then, right? And then somebody took the Twitter page. I used to have the original Twitter called Coin Geek, and then I was dumb and I changed the name, and somebody else, some billionaire, took it. So he created a whole like media channel on that. But I'm the original Coin Geek anyways.
Such an amazing story, man, with the people that you've been connected with.
So that's fine though, because like now I want to create a real utility, right? Like, so that's what we're doing with Grow Moringa. Eventually we're going to launch an NFT. You know, I want to do it right. I don't want to like, there's like 99% of the platforms that have launched over the last 2 years have been essential scams. Like most of them are rugs. You know, people spend thousands of dollars on a stupid picture that doesn't do anything for them, right? Like I didn't want to just jump all in there and make some crap, you know, because blockchain is forever, right? And your reputation in this world matters. So you have to be carefully curated on how you launch your offer to the world. One of the most successful launches was Gary V Friends, right? So he put out a good model. I'm not saying it's the best model, but it was a model that works, and I like it. I think we can improve upon that, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we have. You first introduced me to Tezos about 2 years ago, and since then I'm like, why? And you're like, because it's environmentally friendly. It's low gas fees. It's
there's an entire, exactly, good point. There's an entire like layer, what we call layer one blockchain smart contract platforms. You got Ethereum, their original. And so we're going to go into a little bit of back history of this so people can understand. Like the original idea of Ethereum was to create a proof of stake algorithm, and proof of stake is it's just a different way to create value, right? It's like we're staking, we're putting up capital to get in on this platform, but they didn't actually achieve that yet. They're not a proof of stake algorithm, right? They haven't even done that. And so they're still going through the process to actually upgrade the chain to do that. But Tezos was the one who actually did the proof of stake algorithm, and they are continuously upgrading without breaking. One of the biggest challenges with all these smart contract platforms that are built on Ethereum is the high gas fees, the high transfer fees of moving your money, and the fact that it's a forkable chain, meaning that if the developers decide to don't agree to each other, they'll just split the chain and dilute your value that you built. So what's the point of creating a blockchain if it can break a couple years down the line, right? Just because of a couple bad actors or philosophies change or whatever that is. So Tezos solves the problem of not forking and being a self-amending blockchain. So meaning like if our stakeholders, the original founders, stakers of the platform, all agree to upgrading the chain, it upgrades. If we don't agree, if the proposals aren't agreed, nothing's going to happen. You can't just snap it off and create Tezos 2.0, right? Like you can't. So there's a major benefit of that, and everybody in the community is focused on only community building and making sure we are the best chain for delivering value, building utility on top of it. And eventually it's just, you're not even going to think about it. Like you're not going to know it's on Tezos. You're just going to be using something that helps you deliver your message or your product to the world. And it's just going to be click on your phone eventually. So, and it's almost there. It's just, like you're never going to even realize it's on a blockchain or whatever, but it's the technology that's going to win here. And that's, to me, the superior side of the world that we need to start leaning into. And I want to essentially build us. This is a beta for building a regenerative agriculture DAO.
Mm-hmm.
Like Grow Moringa is the beta ground for that, or the alpha framework for building any plant or ecosystem into it where we all benefit. Right? Yeah. A true regenerative agriculture, decentralized, autonomous organization. So
yeah, well, I love that, because a lot of our members ask us what we can do for them, and especially myself, they're asking me personally, Kendrick, can you come harvest? Can you do this, Kendrick, can we partner, you and me? And what I'm trying to do is really decentralize, because as one person, I'm having a lot of responsibility, but really enjoying the fact that there's someone closer to that member that I've also been training and teaching as a part of the community to where they can work together as more of a local, close-in community network. And that's really helping to alleviate some of the stresses that I face and pressures coming from so many people asking me to come harvest or ask me to go to this location to visit their site.
Right.
I'm able to teach people directly with our daily live webinars and get them up to a level where they can perform inspections and they can perform harvests. Like they're going out and harvesting the trees now. They're taking it to facilities that can be dried and potentially processed. We like the loose leaf, to keep it really simple with the loose leaf. You know, you and I, we love drinking the Moringa tea. We're drinking the Moringa tea every day. It's the best, one of the best ways to have it, as with little to no processing from there. But, you know, I really love this decentralized model that we're creating because it's giving the power back to the people that are involved. They're feeling like they can have their own voice within the collective. A collective is made up of co-ops, businesses, and individuals. We are just overseeing as a marketing and advertising agency through hundreds of thousands of individuals, co-ops that make up hundreds of people that are forming a business in a local area, but also just people around the world. And this is what's really beautiful seeing is like, they all want to have their own Moringa business. Everybody's wanting to have their own. I want to be able to share with them their ability to have their own. They don't have to do what I'm doing. They don't have to sell what I'm selling. They don't have to do all those things. They can do it exactly the way that they want, and we can help. We're getting the tools. We're building up these amazing tools inside of the Grow Moringa Collective members area, thanks to your help, finding the platforms, the right places, you know, everything that you've been able to, that you and I have coming back forth with our problems. You're literally there with the solution because you're in this. This is like a passion of yours to find how this information can get out to the people, which I really appreciate.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of everything that I do is I research. I'm a researcher. I'm always looking at how do I create a better system, because I've helped companies scale, you know, into the millions, you know, through my consulting, and in the solar industry, that was what I was doing is building out the marketing and automation systems for these companies, right? And in the seeing of those systems and how they grew and how they were built, I realized that you know, no, like small businesses just don't have the knowledge base or the infrastructure to do that. So yeah, like what we've applied here so far is kind of like a little bit of it, and we need to really do more. But one of the things that just came to my awareness is if people are asking, they want to start their own business, one of the transition shifts or the trends happening in retail and wholesale are micro fulfillment centers. So I was really like thinking, how do we create a system where any farmer, any regenerative agriculture farmer can plug into a micro fulfillment center, place where they can process all their stuff and then get it shipped out to their customers. They, you know, it's just directly from seed to stomach, no middleman. You're just bringing it over. It like you don't need Amazon for this. Amazon takes too much, you know, like you can do this all yourself, do your own branding, create and control your own infrastructure, your entire supply chain. Because really the biggest problem is customer acquisition. Like, how do you get more customers to buy your stuff? So if we solve that problem, which we can easily do that, the next problem to solve is how do you get it there? How do you get it to your customer fast and affordably? So micro fulfillment centers are popping up.
That's what we're doing.
Quietly across America, quietly across every sector. So we should do this. Like we've got to be able to provide this for our members. I think we need to be able to provide this for our members. So if they want to start their own business in their city and partner with farmers in their city, we can provide that infrastructure for them.
Oh yeah.
Right.
You know, it's starting in our Mighty Networks platform where they can create a chapter. They create a chapter location in the menu there. Then they can find the existing members in their city where they can start meeting up. I'm finding out that when we have meetings here on Saturdays, these chapters are now having meetings of their own in their own city on Saturdays. Their kids are hanging out. They're all sharing each other's Moringa. Matter of fact, there's a co-op within the collective that have popped up because they found each other on the map. Now they meet up whenever one location needs a harvest. They all go to that location on that Saturday. Then the next Saturday, when this location needs a harvest, they all go to that location on that Saturday.
Yes.
Many hands is light work, especially on the one couple, that might have a 5-acre or 10-acre property. They need 10 people. They need 10 people there to work it. And during the week, it's just the two of them, So then on a Saturday morning, we also have 20 people here helping us with planting seeds and harvesting and cutting things back and laying out some mulch and doing all the things that we do regularly. We also know and are seeing that within the members area that they're creating breakout events of their own, and they're gathering with each other. They're hanging out with each other. They're getting to do business. They're forming contracts with each other. They're like forming partnerships. It's amazing. It's such
that's how it should be.
Beautiful feeling. Yeah.
I
have such a weird, feeling about competition. I just really don't have that innate feeling in me. When I see somebody selling Moringa, I'm like, ooh, I love that. Or when someone has a hot brand that they're creating from Moringa, I just feel this love. Yes, get more people to know about it. Get everybody to try Moringa. There's still millions and billions of people that have never even tried Moringa and felt the benefits of it.
Exactly. There is no competition. Our entire mission is to grow Moringa as far as the eye can see. It doesn't matter. You want to solve real problems, solve that first. That's, so that's the difference in health and wealth. We can provide both, in this one tree. So, it's a God-given tree, and that's why they call it the miracle of life, or the miracle tree, right? So please take it. Please go and build your own ecosystems and learn through us and how we develop an abundance of these trees for you, and we'll provide everything you need. That's please.
Thank you. Thank you for helping others build an ecosystem, because as I'm kind of like the face of the collective and they see me, but then once they're in and they want to take it further, that's where you begin to take over. That's where you start showing up as okay, you really want to do this in business? Well, here are the tools. You're really like the tool master. You're like the key maker, honestly. You're the guy that comes in with all the things that someone needs, and you're bundling it up into a beautiful kit. What was your aha moment when realizing what we had at hand with this Moringa tree industry and this business?
Hey there, greetings and welcome. Thank you very much for watching episode 1 of the Grow Moringa podcast with our co-founder, Jason Rashidnia. We're very grateful to have him on the show today. And if you would like to also be featured on the show, just join us in the Grow Moringa Collective. It's a small investment for you to learn everything that there is to know about Moringa. We have courses, classes. We also have a budding community of over 400 members around the world. You could also get on the map. You could advertise your Moringa. You could even sell your Moringa amongst the members, and even get on our website as a supplier and seller, distributor of your Moringa. And if you're really just getting started and you don't have a business yet, but you would really like to learn how to get to that level, we have all the business training, tools, tips, and tricks to help you get your Moringa business off the ground. Thanks to Jason and his expertise in the digital marketing and crypto space. He's a regenerative entrepreneur that has so much wealth and information. If you'd like to hear from Jason more so on the regular, you can also reach him inside of the Grow Moringa Collective members area. Now, for our lifetime members, we actually have a new certificate available for you. It's actually a share that we'll send to you directly as proof of your commitment to the Grow Moringa Collective. If you have any other questions, don't hesitate to make a comment. or you can ask as many questions as you'd like inside the members area. We even have a website that has tons of information. You can go to growmoringa.com, and in that menu, click that menu, and there's a full drop-down bar that'll explain planting instructions, the most frequently asked questions, also recipes, or even testimonials of other people, and proving that moringa is really what others say it is. It's one of the most nutritious plants that you can eat in the entire world, and it is actually the most nutritious plant that you can eat on land. It's consumed by people, pets, and plants. So there's many, many different ways to use moringa. You just have to find out what your purpose is. What is your why? And we're doing tons of business training, seminars, webinars, courses, and everything that you would need to know to get your moringa operation off the ground. I actually just got off the phone with somebody that has an 8.5 acre property just south of here in Ruskin. They want to essentially replace all of their citrus trees, and we're getting this call a lot. Everybody in Florida is essentially done with the citrus industry, and they're either replacing it with bamboo or finding something else that they could profit from. The big question is it profitable? Well, I just want to tell you a secret. Growing peanuts can be profitable, but can you become a profitable farmer? And also, where are the buyers at? That's exactly what we do, is we help connect you directly with buyers. We have buyers that are wanting USDA certified organic moringa. We also have buyers that doesn't really care. And either way, whichever you would like to sell your moringa, we have the answers for you. Now, we would like you to go through all of the proper soil testings, nutritional testings, because moringa does have the propensity to pull up heavy metals. So if you'd like to get a soil test, go to growmoringa.com and get your soil tested to see if you can even grow moringa on your property. We have so many tools, and all the information is really inside. It's a bundled opportunity for you to be able to learn, grow, and honestly, just connect with other people. If you're interested in just finding somebody that is growing moringa in your local area, visit our Moringa Map. That might be the very first step for you to take, to just call someone, find out from one of our members directly just how valuable the information is inside the members area. Without further ado.
Mainly because it was so early, and I was looking at some of the earlier brands and their history, without naming names. I forgot her name actually, but this one woman, she out here, I'm in California, right? So out here in Contra Costa County, I'm near SF. One of these entrepreneurs, she raised millions of dollars it took her like 3 years to raise money, and just to build the Moringa brand. And I was like, why would you do that? So you must know something that, you don't raise money for no reason, right? Like there's something big enough to raise millions of dollars for, right? And so that was one of the first brands that hit the retail market. And I was like, okay, let's figure it out. And really it's regenerative agriculture as a whole that is taking root, that is growing more. I don't remember the clip. I think it was like 22% a year the industry is growing, right? Something like that. It could be totally wrong, but I know it's a growing clip. I have to share this regenerative market trends course with you to watch. But conceptually, that was like the first aha. I was like, okay, this person raised millions for this problem to solve this problem of bringing moringa to the world, because Americans don't know it, right? And so then the biggest challenge with that now is like the supply chain is broken, right? Like you brought this to me, Kendrick. You were saying that you've been talking to farmers globally, and they're saying like, hey, we supply this one brand, but they can't keep a quality supply. They have to burn it up because it's full of heavy metals, because our soil is not proper, right? So I was like, okay, well then what's the solution? That's like, we have to teach more people to grow it properly and build their own ecosystems. So that was that was why we created Grow Moringa, because like now, instead of us being greedy and being the only company in the world that sells this in a retail shop, no, here's the whole package. Go do it yourself, create an abundant, high quality premium supply, and then, we'll solve real problems.
Yeah.
And there's no waste. And, like every part of the tree can be used for oil, makeup, biodiesel. Yeah, like it's just as good as the cannabis plant, it has 25,000 uses. Moringa is equivalent to that, which people don't really realize, like has so many uses. And so let's make the industry flourish and not put it into the hands of a massive conglomerate, faceless conglomerate that will take all the money, right? Like let's create a circular wealth for everybody, essentially.
Yeah, let's educate buyers. So for instance, like if you're a grower getting your business started and you don't have your own supply just yet, but you want to be in the moringa industry, do the due diligence and find a farmer that you can connect with one-on-one. So like if you are going to buy from India, which we support, buy it from someone that that you get to know. Be very, very careful, because sometimes there are a lot of scam artists that will send pictures and show pictures of moringa that is from somewhere else. I've even seen people sharing our photos, and promoting it and selling it to people, on Facebook or other platforms. So it's like we have a member that was faced with some restrictions and certifications challenges while she was beginning to grow her brand. She sought out a moringa farmer in India, helped this family, this one particular family. This is what I'm really interested in, is sponsoring a farming family. She sponsored a farming family. She's sticking with this one family. She's getting them all the way through the process of getting their greens to the USA. Now she purchases from them consistently kilos and kilos of powder from them every single month. They have a direct line. It's coming in fast. It's not having to spend 6 to 8 weeks on a ship. She's literally connected directly one-on-one. So if there's anything that anybody can do in the moringa industry, is find your moringa farmer that you can begin to wholesale from, that you trust with this high quality green stuff, and not just get the stuff that's on the shelf. Not all moringa is the same.
Nope.
The
entire supply chain has been decimated for 100 years, right, with the current monocrop system. So we have to get our eyes on the system, get your eyes in front of the farmer, get them to believe in you, right? Get them to know that you'll be able to support them. So if you have that basically the client acquisition system where you have consistent sales coming in for them, it's just a never-ending circular ecosystem. It's regenerative ag, right?
That is really truly regenerative agriculture
at the core of it. So that's what I'm really excited about. And I hope that answered what's the aha moment, right? Because this can be applied to every plant, right? This isn't the only one we're going to be doing. Grow Moringa is the beginning. We're going to solve the food desert issue. And even let's talk about this. Maybe, if you want to cut it out, we can. But the ghost kitchen model is becoming very prevalent. So ghost kitchens are going to be seen as $1 trillion market by 2030, right? And it's really a McDonald's real estate play. So that's Travis Kalanick from Uber. He raised 130 million to create ghost kitchens across the world.
Yeah,
right?
And we need these. We need these in order for our members to take their moringa to a facility to get it processed. So that way it can be sold on our website, on their website. So that way they can get out of that cottage rule industry face-to-face limitation.
Right.
But then be able to get this in a safe, clean environment, stainless steel, everything. We're helping to pop up small local ghost kitchens. So that way our members can take their stuff, take their moringa material, to a place that can help get it processed. And they bring it back, they can sell it, they can do what they want with it from there, you know?
Yeah, and one of the models I'm looking at is we essentially create like a Moringa restaurant almost, fully vegan. You know, you had this concept that you've been like sitting on for so long, and I'm like, stop sitting on it. We need to like make it happen, and let's really make it happen. And you've got your own like unique spice that you want to start creating and giving to the community. So, you know, my thinking was we go to, you know, we find a micro fulfillment center with a commercial kitchen, and we basically combine both sides of it. Is like, you're a farmer, bring your stuff here, we process it, we package it, and we'll even have a restaurant in this place that delivers to the local community, right? Like tell me this is not like gonna change the game in terms of
but we know how now, because there was a missing link before, because Moringa does have a propensity to pull up heavy metals.
Yes.
So what we're doing is offering soil testing and nutritional testing with our program, so that way you can get your certificate of authentication to be able to even take it to this micro ghost kitchen.
Yes.
So those are the really important things. Even if you're just growing it in your backyard, we also have a list of, you know, requirements. We want to make sure that it's organic. First of all, you're not spraying anything on it.
Oh, yeah.
That nobody is spraying anything on it from, say, like your neighbors, maybe even getting it in, you know, getting to it. So we want to make sure that you have a clean radius as well. But also, what is being watered? You know, is it being watered through the tap? Is it being watered through your hose? Does it have chlorine and fluoride? Are you sucking up like reclaimed water from a dirty pond and then watering your moringa in it that has heavy metals in it? So there's a lot of little things that we're having to go through. So when someone hits me up and say, hey, come through and make this harvest for me, at this point now in our business model, we want to make sure that we're doing our due diligence. Safety is a huge concern of ours. We want to make sure that that tree is in our ecosystem. It's tagged, it's scan coded, it's on the blockchain, you know, so that way when workers are able to come harvest it, they're able to point out that proof of work that they came through and harvested it that day, you know, that it is a certified tree that has been tested, that when it goes to this location, when it goes to this facility, that batch number is tracked, so that way when someone wants to order a particular time frame and when it was harvested, where, with particular location, everything is duly recorded. We're moving on to this next level of precise honing in on who gets what: the farmers, the growers, the harvesters, the processors, you know, the sales, everything is so well finely tuned thanks to your attention to detail.
Well, we don't have the systems yet, but we are building them. We want to build them. So we might even need to raise a little bit of capital to get the initial system built, which is fine. Like that's kind of where I come in, because I also became a deal scout for some really cool capital groups. We could crowdfund it. Essentially, we could crowdfund it. We could create it as a DAO, like the agriculture DAO.
Yeah.
And let that the first mission to be able to track from seed all the way to store, you know, the supply chain. Because I just saw an article recently. Oh man, what was it? Was it lettuce or something? You know, or celery had some kind of disease in it where they had to like recall the whole supply chain, and they couldn't trace back exactly what farm or whatever, but eventually they found it, and they found it was just like a 15% batch from this one farmer that was just like bad, right? And it had E. coli, that's what it was, some nasty stuff. And so you know, with the blockchain, with being able to track everything, like it's a centralized database, because right now everything's fractured. You've got different supply chains, all their own different things. So if we just come in and even leverage universities, you know, leverage agriculture universities, like we got UF here in Florida, that are kind of like the labs for the testing and certifying of people, right, of farms. So, you know, go to your local university, build a relationship with the dean of agriculture and start getting them to come to your farms and get that stamp of approval, right? Like, you don't necessarily need it, but the point is it's going to help you further the cause. And also, once we get the blockchain ecosystem built, I mean, that's it. Like, you'll just be able to plug in, we'll have our seeds that we've sourced for you. We'll tag them, track them, you make your purchase, goes to your farm, and then your soil's tested. All of that is going to be in one database, right? So decentralized farms, coming to a city near you.
Oh yeah. And they have access for very affordably as well. For $25, you can actually get instant access to all of these things that we're talking about every single day in the members area.
Yep.
Which is really why we're here today, is to help promote that. And the capital that is starting to accumulate because of the membership platform is really giving us the freedom to talk more about it, talk about what we love, and also share that wealth and provide it back in a dividend form, to our members as well. We're talking about that.
100%. Yeah, I mean, I'm good friends with all these Tezos and blockchain developers. Really, it's not going to cost as much as you think. And like a lot of these big name companies are selling blockchains for like $250,000. And I've gotten quotes for like 5-10 grand. So it's like, it's not going to be that much money to build an entirely new regenerative agriculture blockchain. It's not going to cost that much money, at least to get the core foundations and just get the ball rolling. Though I don't want to underfund it, because it's not just building the tech. You've still got to build infrastructure, build the partnerships with, the micro fulfillment centers, all these kinds of things. So, we'll probably have to raise a few million just to make it work. So yeah, like that's what I'm really excited about. And, this is kind of like the first time I'm actually like talking about it with you. Well, we've talked privately, but now we're kind of really exposing it and bringing it to our community's awareness. So, get to thinking, get your wheels turning. I'm friends with the people who have built these systems in India already. And, we want to bring it here. America needs it. And, what do we have, like 22 different or 16 different food processing centers just went up in flames in the last 2 years. So like, what's going on there, right? I just heard just yesterday, an egg processing plant just caught on fire.
Oh my goodness.
And these are major key resources for our country to supply food to our people.
Yeah.
So like, this is important, this is
very big stuff that we're working on.
Exactly. So this is why we need to do this. Like, we need to do this now. We're going into a recession. We are going into a recession based on how things are playing out. A lot of my friends are angel investors. They bet millions of dollars on these kinds of bets, right? They give me private research, and they're like, hey, it looks like Europe might collapse. So we're gonna put a bet. We're gonna put a put on it. So how do we bet on the collapse of Europe?
Oh my gosh!
Like, these are private conversations I'm having with angel investors, and one of my buddies is actually creating an entire investment fund around the fall of Europe.
Oh my goodness!
Because of like energy infrastructure is going too much, and anyways, not without getting into all of the details, but this is like, in America, we have to secure our food supply chain first, and I heard this one statistic where we're having like oranges grown here, but then shipped to China, processed there, and shipped back here.
Yeah.
That's completely retarded.
Oh my goodness.
What the heck are we doing?
I heard the same thing with chicken as well.
How does that make any economic sense? And this is why we have to take control of it ourselves. individual to individual, collective leader to collective leader, we have to take control of the supply chain for our own cities. And, I know some of the systems, I don't know all the systems, but ultimately, if we start today, we can get there. And Moringa is the first thing. So that's why we're teaching you to grow Moringa.
Yes.
That's it. That's the core of all of it. So,
well, what do you think is your favorite tool that we've been able to implement to our members to help them get started?
Teachable.
Mm-hmm.
Teachable is the education platform. We put all the content in there for you to consume. You're doing your lives in Mighty Networks. So everybody's signed up into Mighty Networks. So you're doing your daily live. And that's where the community is connecting. That's where everybody is building their own business out of it. Like they're building partnerships. I think that's the most important. We give you guys the platform to build your business, and whatever you need, we can do it. The other side of what I'm also doing is I just build sales funnels. That's my favorite thing to do, is build a sales funnel that grows your business, right? And that was what got me into this business. That's how I met you, right? Like I was building marketing funnels and for solar companies, but ultimately I can apply the same principles to any industry. So let's just apply it to this industry. So if these are kind of things, like you mentioned, a few members were like, how do I build a website and all these things? And I might as well just like, hey, let me do it for you.
Right.
Hundreds
of very successful websites. Our websites have been extremely value added with your help and your expertise, consultation. I'll tell you one of my favorite tools, which I'm excited to combine all of these tools, which you're helping to do right now with our team in India as well, is taking our Moringa Map. The map is huge. It's massive. I'm just getting chills talking about this map because it's so much freedom for people to just call someone on the map. If you want local Moringa, find local Moringa from someone on the Moringa Map. It's an amazing tool, right? And then being able to combine that with Teachable, then combining that with Mighty Networks, all three of those tools, as we're beginning to put all of those together so we don't have to use different platforms, that's where you're really coming in and you're really going to help us shine and move forward over to the next year, in the next season that we grow into.
That will be the next season of this company, the next phase of where we head, where you'll just go to growmoringa.com, and wherever you're located, you'll enter your zip code or your state or your city, and you'll find a local grower and be able to order directly from them, right? Like that entire, oh man, that's going to be big. That's going to be big. And that's how we're going to decentralize our food systems for good, and really take control of our systems. So that's exciting. Yeah, that's where we're headed. That's it. I mean, what else is there? Like we've kind of laid out the roadmap. Boom.
Wrap it up, man.
I'm out.
Mic drop, bag drop. Like that's it.
Yeah, what else you want?
But we are doing a lot of things for people that are just like, really, the biggest thing is farmers come to me and they don't know how to market and advertise.
Yep.
Nor are they interested. Like we had a gentleman here yesterday. He's actually in the manufacturing side of things, and he's like opening a processing facility. He works for the USDA, and he came here yesterday, and he is opening a processing facility. Matter of fact, he actually works at a USDA certified organic egg processing facility in Brooksville.
Wow.
And he says that he's opening up his own processing facility for Moringa.
Yes.
And so he joined the membership, and he's like, I want everybody to be able to bring their Moringa that's in the 50 to 100 mile radius to my facility to have it processed. Can you help me? Can we partner? Can we work together? I said, yes, most certainly. Absolutely. This is my dream to do this. We need 50 more people like you in every single state, in every single city to do the same thing. We need manufacturers and people that are in their own careers and niches right now to then just easily make that transition to a Moringa business, whatever it may be, to help that funnel, get through and get to the people.
100%. Oh man, that's really exciting. I want to fly over there and meet him right now.
Okay.
We need to go meet this guy.
Yeah, we're gonna get you over here.
Yeah.
We'll get together again. We'll have another podcast in person. It was great having you today on today's show.
Set him up. Let's set him up on a podcast with us.
We will most certainly. We'll do it together. I'm going to be going on tour soon. So if you want to actually get on the podcast, first become a member. Where I'm going on a podcast series right now for the next few months. We're just interviewing members every single day. And then if you'd like me to get to your site and your location, get in the members area so that way you can help me find the best places in America to go to showcase Moringa farms. So if you have a Moringa farm that you want to share with people and you want to show people your Moringa trees and the quality that you're growing your Moringa at, please come on in. Let's get to talking. Let's get to partnering. Let's form a collective of co-ops all over the country, all over the world, really. It's like we have one mission first is at home, with USA, but at the same time, we're really having an ear and an eye to the whole world and this whole entire thing, because if someone's saying in another country that Moringa is not really well known there, then we need to solve the educational problem, the education about this. This is why we started essentially the Moringa University here, the Moringa Master Class, the Moringa School, the Moringa Collective is really the educational platform where other countries can then implement a school in their local area to help teach people even about what Moringa is and what it's good for. So that way they start buying Moringa locally to them. That way they're not necessarily having to export their Moringa to the USA. Why can't you find 100 people in your local area that's going to buy Moringa from you consistently? That's a business.
That's a business. And this is one of the things that that you and I coined, is permaculture capitalism. This is what we're doing. We are teaching you permaculture capitalism. This is the new movement.
Yeah.
Nobody's talking about this. We are the first, right? And that I gotta get the hat. I gotta get the shirt. Man, we gotta do this. But I think capitalism has this bad rap because of all these people who never made money, who've never actually taken control of their life.
Yeah.
And it really what permaculture is capitalism. It's true freedom to take your life by the bootstraps and build something for yourself and your family. So, that's what we're building here. And you have the ability to be a permaculture capitalist and build the movement in your city, your state, your country.
Yep.
So start here at growmoringa.com.
Thanks, brother. Well, thanks for joining us today, man. Thanks for being a part of this. We're going to get you in there as well on some of the daily webinars. So if anybody wants to connect with Jason, come on in. And so you can talk more about Bitcoin and about all the beautiful things that we love talking about in regenerative agriculture, Moringa, all that good stuff, health, wellness. Thanks, man. I love you. I really appreciate everything that you do.
Love you too, brother. Thank you so much for putting this set up.
Cool. Peace and love, everybody. We'll catch you around soon as we hit the next Grow Moringa podcast episode. We'll be here with another member. And thanks so much for watching. Peace.
Thanks, Kendrick.
Waiting on a deal on my own time, on my own grind.